turn it over, or?
Yeah, I don't have anything to say about any of that.
So I guess we'll just come out to your house.
What you just heard was a short clip of a conversation between a National Association for Gun Rights member and an ATF agent trying to come to his house to seize his forced reset trigger. To add a little bit of context to this, we have been suing the ATF over this exact issue, and on the 7th of October, we actually received a preliminary injunction. Well, that's great. That means that the ATF is not allowed to harass our members. Apparently not, because it's not even a week later, on the 12th, that we get this call from a member through the hotline. Now, I'm going to put a link to the hotline down there so that anybody who owns an FRT, pistol brace, has any of these types of questions, is getting harassed by the ATF, you should call us, and we'll give you some guidance on this. But he called on the 12th, and he spoke to Hannah and her team over at the foundation. And if you're not familiar with the stuff they're doing over at the foundation, stop what you're doing now, go check it out. It's really good stuff. He said, I told them there's an injunction. They said they don't care. They're coming anyways. Well, Hannah got on the phone with our attorneys, and she called me and said, Chris, this guy's a state away. Would you be willing to talk to him? Maybe go over there if need be? I said, yeah, of course. I called him on the phone, and he said, yeah, I'm not doing anything basically the rest of the day. I'm waiting to see around to see if the ATF shows up. So I got in the car the next morning, drove over there, and as he and I were getting to know each other, talking about this issue, our attorneys were busy at work calling the DOJ and trying to get them to stand down. Well, eventually they did, or temporarily, I don't know, because thankfully they didn't show up, which is very good news, right? Even if you have your paperwork, even if you have everything that you need in place, you know what you're supposed to say, you know what you're supposed to do, it doesn't matter. You still don't want the ATF coming to your house for any reason. They're not your friends. But before I play the clip as well, take a moment to listen to, one, how our member stood his ground, the way that he repeated the same thing over and over again, which was very smart. And then two, more interesting than that is the tone shift between the beginning of the phone call with the agent and then how she gets progressively more aggressive and a little perturbed by it. So take a listen.
I'm calling about some forced reset triggers you purchased a while back. Do you remember that?
I don't have anything really to say about any of that.
Well, I mean, do you remember purchasing the triggers?
I don't have anything to say anything about any triggers.
Okay. Well, the reason I'm calling is we have been tasked with trying to retrieve some of these triggers that were purchased. It looks like, I'm trying to find a date, back in 2022, you purchased one of these forced reset triggers. And unfortunately, since then, they have been deemed machine guns. So you can't lawfully possess them. So all we're trying to do is track them down, let you know that you can't have them, and take them if you have it in your possession. But you can't have it. Unfortunately, it is illegal. So I just need to know, whether you do or don't still have those triggers.
Wasn't there an injunction passed Saturday out of the Fifth Circuit in Texas? There was an injunction imposed on basically ATF for forced reset triggers.
As it stands right now, I got told from my big people, this is a machine gun, it's unlawful, I have to come get it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's an injunction against that right now.
Yeah, so, like I said, it might change in the future, but as it stands right now, just trying to figure out what to do about the trigger.
Well, my understanding is there's an injunction covering all NAGR members. Are you aware of that?
All I know is I was told from powers that be that are bigger than me, this came out saying that you have one and it's illegal to have, and we need to take it in our possession.
Yeah, I'd probably research a little bit there on the latest injunction. Maybe you could pass it on to your powers that be. I'm not trying
to be difficult. So, what are you telling me? You're not going to turn it over, or you don't have it?
I don't have
This has to be resolved one way or another. Either we take the trigger if you have it and it's no big deal, or we come out and you sign an affidavit saying that you no longer have it.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say about any of that. Anything.
So you So I guess we'll just come out to your house and see you in person, and get you to sign an affidavit if you're saying you don't have the trigger.
Well, I'd hate for you to waste a trip out.
Yeah, well, I don't have a choice. Are you gonna be home tomorrow? We can come out tomorrow and just get this settled so you don't ever have to hear from me ever again.
Well,
You're working?
I am.
Okay. I mean, is there a time we can meet you? I can work around your schedule.
No, just save yourself a trip, I guess. I mean, there's no need to come here.
If you don't have the trigger, I still have to have you sign saying that you don't. So we're going to come see you at some point or another. And if we have more reason to believe that you have the trigger, I can get a search warrant to try to find it. But it doesn't have to come to that. Like, it does not need to come to that at all. I just need to take the trigger into my possession if you have it, or have you sign saying that you no longer do. It's really that simple.
I guess I'm done talking there, but I appreciate you calling.
Okay, well, I mean, we will at some point make contact with you in the future, but...
Okay, appreciate you.
All right.
Have a
Thanks,
good one.
sir.
What a lovely interaction. Let me read you something that our attorney over at Dillon Law suggested. Write this down. Agent so-and-so, you are violating a federal court order. I urge you to contact your supervisor before you make this problem worse. You and your supervisor should call the Department of Justice and talk to their attorney who's representing the government on this matter. Their telephone is, and I'll put that below. They can advise you about your obligations under that order. Pretty concise. Now, I could brag about us all day. I think the work that we do on the state level, the federal level, the great work that Hannah and her team do over at the foundation is amazing. But why take my word for it? Tell me a little bit about yourself and then this situation.
I'm a retired deputy sheriff, served in law enforcement for 24 years, and was contacted by the ATF saying that they had evidence that I had purchased an FRT trigger. After speaking with them, I contacted NAGR immediately, who sent all kinds of help in my direction, and hopefully will resolve this matter.
And they didn't show up today, so I don't know, either they got word from our attorneys, or maybe they choose another day. But anything that comes down the pike, just let us know, and we'll
Sounds good.
do the same thing.
And anybody, if you're not an NAGR member, probably your best interest to become one. I'm actually probably going to sign up for the lifetime membership.